Welcome everyone to docket 6690 FR 2022, the application of Wisconsin Public Service Corporation for reconciliation of actual fuel costs to the authorized 2022 fuel cost plan. This is Michael Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. We're on Zoom with parties and commission staff. We're having both the public and party session here today, and at this point in time, we'd like to take comments from the public, but I do not see any members of the public in attendance. So let me just say for the record that we are taking public comment here today live and also in writing. The written comments can be filed on the commission's website or mailed to us by US mail. And we just need to receive those no later than Friday, June 30th. So far, we have no comments on file, and the instructions on how to file are displayed on the screen share and also posted on the commission's website in the notice of hearing document. So yeah, I don't see any members of the public. If members of the public do join us, we can take comments at the end of the hearing. But at this point, I think we can switch over to the party session. So while we're on the record, let's do our appearances. And we'll just do that in alpha order. So we'll start with Citizens Utility Board.
Thank you, Your Honor. Steve Keim on behalf of the Citizens Utility Board of Wisconsin.
Okay, and Public Service Commission.
Your Honor, Stephanie Bedford, Assistant General Counsel, appearing on behalf of the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin. And with me is Assistant General Counsel Mark Riskevich.
Thank you. Wisconsin Industrial Energy Group.
Hi, Steve Heinzen, appearing for the Wisconsin Industrial Energy Group. Good morning.
Good morning. And Wisconsin Public Service Corporation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Patrick Proctor Brown, appearing on behalf of Wisconsin Public Service Corporation. I also have in the room with me Mr. Oswald, who's going to be prepared to testify, Attorney Joe Wilson of Quarles and Brady, and Attorney Kate Phillips.
Okay, your audio is a little on the weaker side. I don't know if your microphone would just move it closer.
I must be blocking it with this computer, so apologies for that.
That's okay.
Is that a little bit better?
So.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to restate any of that, or was loud enough to be transcribed?
I think we got it. Yep. But thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So that's all of our service list information. So we can change our view here to the offered evidence list. And just my standard question here first is just, is the list so far correct in terms of the documents we included? This, of course, is the updated version you're seeing on the screen share. I can move the comments out of the way here, but the updated version has the SRSA rebuttal from buyer. And, oh, I forgot, there's going to be a data request response exhibit. I've been told. So expect that in the near future. And we also do have a potential exhibit in the form of Mylata 3, and the witness Mylata will describe that when he takes the stand. Just nothing too controversial. He just cited the 2022 monitored fuel report for Wisconsin Public Service. And just in the nature of that testimony, I think that fuel report should probably be in the record. So we'll have him, we'll deal with that when he takes the stand. But otherwise, I just want to make sure that I have the correct filings listed, or maybe I'm missing a filing. Just let me know.
It looks correct to applicants.
Yeah. And there's no errata this time for Callan. Is that right? Did I miss it?
I believe that's correct, but Mr. Callan, can you confirm that there's not errata in this docket?
Yeah, I can confirm that.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. So yeah, pending verification, I can accept these documents for the record. And we can take anything we need to address before we take our first witness. No? All right. Well, let's do that. So let's have the applicant's witnesses, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Applicant calls Mr. Jim Beyer.
Okay, and see you there. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Byer, would you state and spell your name for the record?
Jim Byer, Jimbeyer.
And did you cause to be filed direct rebuttal and sur rebuttal testimony in this docket?
I did.
And did you cause to be filed two exhibits, Exhibit WPSC Byer 1 and Exhibit WPSC Byer 2?
I did.
And subject to the small revisions that will be filed later this week, are the answers in your testimony true and correct? And would you answer the same if you were asked those questions today?
Yes.
And subject to the revision to Exhibit WPSC Byer 1, are those two exhibits accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
So that's all the questions I have for Mr. Byer. He's available for cross.
Okay, any questions for the witness? Nothing? Okay. All right, great. And I just wanted to mention, I just wanted to ask, make sure everyone did have a chance to review the sur rebuttal before the hearing. Okay, we're not getting any complaints, so okay, that's good. All right, great. Thanks very much. You're excused.
Thank you, Mr. Byer. Applicant would call Mr. Oswald, and I just have to get the video turned on.
There we go. All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, great.
Good morning, Mr. Oswald. Would you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is John Oswald, JOHNOSWALD.
And Mr. Oswald, did you cause to be filed confidential and public versions of rebuttal testimony in this docket?
Yes.
And did you cause to be filed confidential and public versions of two exhibits, Exhibit WPSC Oswald 1 and Exhibit WPSC Oswald 2?
Yes.
And if I ask the questions in your rebuttal testimony today, would your answers be the same?
Yes, they would.
And to the best of your knowledge, are the two exhibits that you filed true and accurate?
Yes, they are.
That's all the questions I have for Mr. Oswald. He's available for cross-examination.
All right. Any questions for the witness? No.
I just
Okay.
have Your Honor.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
staff has a few questions.
All right. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Oswald. I'd like to direct your attention to your Exhibit 1, just in general. Can you comment as to your knowledge, beyond the obligations outlined in your Exhibit 1, are there any obligations described in the operating manual as to the operator's interaction with the railroads?
Yes, the operator is required to share forecasts with the railroads and work with the railroads to get the desired and forecasted amount of coal delivered to the site.
And are there any obligations as to the applicant with regards to that interaction between the operator and the railroad?
Any obligations? No, we have periodic discussions with the operator, but the responsibility is with the operator.
Thank you. For 2022, were you aware whether or not the operator was doing a written annual volume estimate for Columbia by the due date under the contract?
The operator is required to. I don't know the exact date of when they submitted that, though.
Do you know whether or not they were doing it periodically?
Whether verbally or written, they do have periodic discussions with the railroad, yes.
Okay. So were you aware whether or not they were doing it verbally or written in the past?
No, I am not.
Okay, thank you. And were you getting periodic updates on the operator's monthly coal tonnage forecasts for 2022?
We get monthly receipt information.
Okay, thank you. Were you satisfied with the service as to nominated versus loaded coal from the railroad for Weston?
Yes.
Could you please describe specific likely reasons for the success at Weston?
Weston as compared to what, please?
Columbia, for example.
So I think I want to object to this question. I'm not sure the relative performance of the two units is relevant to this fuel reconciliation case.
Well, the applicant's the owner of both facilities, so I think it's fair to look at what was going on at the facilities as to the performance of the railroads.
Well, there's been no testimony about imprudence at Weston. In fact, you characterize it as successful. And the applicant is not responsible for the coal performance at Columbia. So
Yeah, but that's
I don't know
illegal.
what
That's a
line
legal
it-
conclusion as to whether or not the applicant is or is not responsible.
And it hasn't been at issue in any of the testimony so far. And he's testified about it, but I don't think this line of questioning is relevant to the commission's task here, which is to determine if there are any imprudently incurred costs in the fuel reconciliation accounts.
And again, that's your legal argument as to the definition of prudence. So
Yeah.
I'd like to ask the question
Okay.
and get a response.
Yeah, I can rule on this. I think the original question was a fair one. I think had it been characterized as comparing one plant to another, which was not Attorney Rishkevitz's question originally, does lead us into maybe something that poses questions of relevance. But the original question, I think, is fair. What reasons can be given for the success of deliveries to Weston? And we can read that back and have the witness answer that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please repeat the question.
We're going to read it back.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out who said that. Sorry.
Oh, it's Mark.
I got it. Question, could you describe specific likely reasons for the success at Weston? Answer, Weston as compared to what, please? Question, Columbia, for example.
I'm responsible for the deliveries to the Weston site. That's under my responsibility. I have phone calls and discussions with the railroad on a weekly basis at a minimum. And I believe that is a big part of the success for the deliveries to the Weston site is open communication with the railroad.
Thank you.
Not being the operator at Columbia, I'm not privy to all the discussions that they have with the railroad. So I'm not sure how often their discussions occur. I do know, though, that we are successful at Wisconsin Public Service for Weston because of the open communication that we have.
Thank you. No further questions.
Okay. Any other cross? No. All right. Redirect.
No redirect, Your Honor.
No redirect. All right. Thanks very much. You're excused. Yeah, move on to Citizens Utility Board.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Citizens Utility Board calls Mr. Singletary.
Okay. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Corey Singletary.
And by whom are you employed and in what capacity?
I'm employed by the Citizens Utility Board of Wisconsin as Director of Regulatory Affairs.
And did you file direct testimony in this proceeding?
I did.
And if I asked you the questions contained therein, would your answers today be the same as filed?
They would.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mr. Singletary is available for cross-examination.
Any questions? Not seeing any. Okay, thanks. You're excused.
The Citizens Utility Board calls Mr. Callen.
Raise your right hand and do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Ted Callen,
And by whom are you employed and in what capacity?
I'm employed by the Citizens Utility Board of Wisconsin as an analyst.
And you filed rebuttal and rebuttal testimony in this proceeding, is that correct?
And that is correct.
And if I asked the questions contained therein today, would your answers be the same as filed?
They would be.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Callan is available for cross-examination.
Any questions for the witness?
I have one question, Your Honor, if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Callan. I'm Attorney Patrick Proctor Brown on behalf of the applicant. We met yesterday, I think. So I have one question for you. Are you aware of any evidence that WPSC imprudently operated their hydroelectric generating stations in 2022?
I am not aware of any evidence that, WPSC. No, I'm not.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, anyone else? No?
That concludes our witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, no redirect.
Yeah, no redirect.
Okay. All right, that's okay. We have Cubs witnesses. So let's skip to the commission staff. And who are we calling first?
The commission calls Tyler Mellemans to the stand.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Tyler Mellemans.
And what is your position at the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin?
I am the rate supervisor at the PSC.
Did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony in one exhibit in this docket?
Yes, I did.
Are the statements and representations in the testimony and exhibit you filed in this case true and correct?
Yes, they are.
And do you have any additions or modifications to your testimony or to your exhibit at this time?
I do not.
Your Honor, the witness is available for cross.
Okay, any questions?
None from applicants, Your Honor.
No one else looks like. Okay. All right, thanks. You're excused.
Thank you.
Commission staff calls Klaus Mylata, please.
All right. All ready to go? Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? No, except for the mic. Oh, well. I could have seen that before.
No lip reading. I do.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, thanks.
Please state your name for the record.
Klaus H. Mylata.
What is your position at the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin?
I'm a financial analyst.
And did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony and 2 exhibits in this proceeding?
I did.
Okay. Do you have any corrections to your testimony or exhibits at this time?
I will have an additional exhibit that will have a copy of the December 2022 monitor fuels report for pub service. And it will be exhibit Mylata 3, and I will need to change the reference in my direct. That's the only items that I know of that I've got to change.
Okay, thank you. If you were asked the same questions today in your testimony, would you provide the same answers withholding any of these corrections? All right, thank you. You've listened to the testimony today and had a chance to review service or rebuttal. Do you have any additional comments at this time?
I do not.
All right, thank you. The witness is available for cross.
All right, any questions?
I have 2 questions, Your Honor, if that's all right.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Mylata. I'm Attorney Patrick Proctor Brown on behalf of WPSC. I believe we met yesterday. I have a couple of follow-up questions that are similar to the questions I asked you yesterday. My first is, do you agree with Mr. Oswald that coal procurement was successful at the Weston plant?
Well, coal procurement's got 2 pieces, which is the coal and the loading of the coal. Both of those went very well, as best as I can tell.
Thank you. And do you agree with Mr. Oswald that it's the operator of Columbia that's responsible for those 2 components of coal procurement?
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
He's experienced and he's testified about this in multiple dockets. I think he can answer.
Well,
Any response, Attorney Rushkevich?
With the disclaimer that he's not an attorney, that he's already put in his testimony, it's fine.
Okay, so I think we all understand the nature of witness Mailata's background. So with that, go ahead and answer.
Would you mind repeating the question so I remember what it was?
Let's read it back.
Question, and did you agree with Mr. Oswald that it's the operator of Columbia that's responsible for those two components of coal procurement?
Yes, I do.
Yep. I don't know.
Thank you. That's all I had. Appreciate it, Mr. Milano.
Okay. Anything else for this witness? Any other questions? Any redirect?
Do you have anything you'd like to add, Mr. Mailata?
I am fine. No.
Thank you. None then.
All right. Okay, thanks. You're excused, and we can move on to any post-hearing issues. We have the schedules already set, so we'll just expect the new filings to come in on the scheduled deadline. Otherwise, anything else we need to address? No? All right. Well, thanks very much. We're adjourned. Oh, wait, we have a hand up. Go ahead.
Sorry, when you took away the screen share, I lost my mute button.
Oh, sorry.
I have something for the other docket. If I could just talk about that quickly off the record.
Off the record? Yeah, that's fine. Let's go off the record. So we have all the parties present at the moment. Okay, well, we'll try to take care of this as best we can, but we may need some sort of alternative process if this gets to some substance.
I don't think it's substantive.
Okay, good. All right, go ahead.
We reviewed the transcript and it can be made public in the 6630 docket.
Okay. We probably okay, yeah, I think that's fine, as long as you don't file a redacted version according to the facilitating matters order, then you're waiving your claim of confidentiality. So this can be an informal acknowledgement of that, but the formal acknowledgement will just be your waiver that you're not filing a confidential and redacted version. So yeah, that's fine. So thanks for
Yeah, I just, if that's any
the rest
time saving for the transcript preparation, I just want to make sure I let you know.
Sure. The rest just will just take effect by operation of the facilitating matters order. So perfect.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything else? Okay, thanks. Let's get on the record then and adjourn the hearing. Take care, everyone.